What's up, everyone? Jason and Matt here taking a look at GPP picks for the Saturday main slate, 7:05 and later. You and I talking before the show. Finally, we get some pitching. So, I mean, it's not all the bats in the world like it has been the last two nights.
Oh yeah, man. Liriano's chalk last night was just absolutely garbage. I'm so happy to see some of these pitching names on here. I'm ready to get going.
Yeah, jumping into the first game here, Atlanta and Pittsburgh. Chad Culver's R.A. Dickey. Cool weather game, big ballpark. Two offenses that don't really have a ton of power right now. Yeah, I'm off of it for upside.
Yeah, I don't like this game at all. I feel like there's so many other spots that we can target. I just would rather just put this game to the side.
Yeah, me as well. Washington and Philadelphia, the next one here. Jeremy Guthrie, Aaron Nola. Guthrie, hasn't pitched since 2015, come into the league. I mean, Citizens Bank, I feel like one of the underrated hitters ballparks in the league. I don't mind some of these guys. I don't mind like an Odubel Herrera or Michael Franco, Cesar Hernandez. I mean, they're in play for me.
Yeah, I like Herrera for sure, and I do like Franco. I'm hoping maybe if Joseph gets in the lineup, I'm a big Tommy Joseph guy, so maybe if he gets in there, throw those three together with maybe a Saunders and have a little cheap stack to go with one of these top pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, Guthrie's a guy you can certainly target. I do like that. On the Washington side, I like Aaron Nola quite a bit. I mean, we saw this guy when he was healthy, excellent pitcher. Washington lefties, I mean, they're in play, but they're not my favorite options tonight.
Yeah, I think I'll have a little bit less exposure to Murphy and Harper than I usually do. Noel's got a really nice curveball, so I usually don't like targeting him, but he will give up some home runs, so I understand if you want to go there.
Yeah, so I think as far as one-offs go, they're okay.
Yeah,
Marlins
definitely.
Mets. Sorry,
No,
cut you
you
off.
good.
Marlins Mets, Adam Conley, Robert Selman. This is kind of another one. I mean, I think the Mets basically against lefties, they bring two guys to the table that I'm always considering and it's only really Yoenis Cespedes and Wilmer Flores against Southpaws.
Yeah, you always got Neil Walker, but not really worried about him. And you can't really play people like Darno. It's always Cespe and Flores. But I kind of like Adam Conley. I'm not just saying this slate, but just in general, I feel like he limits a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, Conley's not a bad pitcher. And you look at the Mets really as a whole against lefties. Outside those two guys, there's really nothing spectacular.
Yeah, that's just somewhere I'm probably. I'll probably have Cespe on a team, but besides that, I don't even know if I'll have Flores. I feel like there's so many more options.
Yeah, you may not necessarily need him. On the Marlins side, though, I like Selma. I think he's a talented arm. Marlins haven't really shown really the upside yet. I mean, you can continue to chase Stanton bombs, but I don't really like Miami right now.
No, I don't either. It's just I'm a huge Yelich guy, but besides that, Stanton's going to strike out twice and maybe hit you a home run, you hope, but ballpark's pretty big. I'm just not going to go there.
Yeah. Royals and Astros. This one's interesting. I mean, two lefties on the hill, Dallas Keuchel versus Danny Duffy. We'll start with the Royals side. I don't really like anyone here. The only real notable right-handed bat who's hit lefties well is Lorenzo Cain. But this is a guy, I don't quite know if we're going to get anything like the prior years from Cain this year.
Yeah, I don't really know about Cain, but I think we're going to start getting some of the prior years from Keuchel. He looked great in his first start, and I think this is another matchup where he's just going to perform, and I'm just going to totally stay away from Kansas City.
Yeah, I don't like Kansas City. There isn't really a ton of upside, and basically with all those lefties in the front five there, it's not a strong lineup.
Yeah, definitely. I just can't see you definitely can't stack that team, but I just definitely can't see myself maybe even on anybody tomorrow for Kansas City.
Yeah. On the Houston side, though, I have some interest. I know you and I both like Danny Duffy quite a bit. Guy is still a little bit home run prone. 1.59 home runs per nine to righties going back to last year. So, guys like George Springer, Altuve, Correa is certainly in play for me. But I do think they are just GPP only, which, is what we're talking about.
Yeah, those guys, you definitely wouldn't play in cash tomorrow, and especially not a guy like Duffy. Like you said, I'm a huge fan. You're a huge fan. I'll probably have a Duffy here and there, and I probably will have a couple of Houston bats just to cover all my bases. But, it's not a team I'm just dying to have,
Right. Yeah, it's weird. This is probably the strongest lefty that they've faced in the last few days, and they haven't really done much.
Right, which kind of worries me because that means I'm going to get Duffy and then Houston's going to explode. So.
Chicago, Milwaukee, next one, Tommy Malone versus Kyle Hendricks. Looking at the Chicago side of things, on DK, they're expensive. I really like Chris Bryant tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
getting the lefty there in Miller Park. I mean, Chris Bryant's been struggling outside the gate. I think a lot of people are going to probably fade some of the top end guys here because they are expensive and struggling so far.
I actually I actually think Contreras is really in play tomorrow. I like him a lot. And if Baez, I mean, I know he got in a collision in the sixth inning today, and he's got an eye contusion. But if he could play, I think I like him against lefty here too.
Yeah, so I mean, those secondary guys for the Cubs are really in play. I mean, Tommy Malone, this is obviously a guy that you can certainly pick on. He gives up the long ball as well, 1.78 home runs per nine to the righties. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the righties are strong options. I don't even mind Zobrist if he's hitting cleanup.
Yeah, I mean, I was even going to say if you want to stack it all and get really contrarian, this kind of sounds weird, but people just tend to fade Rizzo against a lefty, and he actually hits lefties pretty well. So if you wanted to go with those three guys or two out of those three, throw in Zobrist and throw in Rizzo there, I don't even think people are going to be completely on them, and it might be a good day to attack them because if they get Malone out early, all those bullpen guys are not that good in Milwaukee.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I like the Cubs quite a bit. Malone, on the other hand, Kyle Hendricks, on the other hand, not a guy that I'm attacking.
Oh, no, man. I'm a huge Kyle Hendricks fan. You don't have to get me started. There's no way I'm playing anybody on Milwaukee tomorrow.
Oakland and Texas, Yu Darvish, Kendall Graveman. A's, I mean, they have been kind of chippy against Yu Darvish in the past. I can't see going anyone with Oakland here.
No, I like Yu Darvish. He's a good pitcher. I just maybe a one-off like vote or something like that if he's cheap enough. I haven't really looked at his price, but let me see here. Oh, 2,800. Yeah, maybe if it works out salary-wise. But besides that, I'm not going to chase the Chris Davis dong here.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a couple of homers here to start the season. On Texas, I mean, coming off a monster game here, Nomar Mazara. You look at Kendall Graveman, pretty average against both sides of the plate. I think Texas is obviously going to come in fairly chalky. I know we were talking earlier. You're not a big fan of kind of attacking teams that just had monster nights.
Yeah. I might pick a guy here and there, but dude, I think I'm off. I think they're going to come in so high that I would just love to fade. And if it works out, I mean, my team is going to be so much ahead of the pack,
Yeah, because I mean, they are going to be chalky. I mean, I still don't mind using like an Adore just because the power's there.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
But Mazara, I mean, that ownership is just going to shoot up through the roof.
Yeah, I won't. I guarantee I won't play Mazara tomorrow. It's just one of those things where he scored so much, and he's going to go from 15% to 25%, and that's just the easy fade for me.
Yeah. Cleveland, Arizona. I mean, Chase Field's been a bandbox here to start the season. Trevor Bauer versus Zach Greinke. It's not that Greinke was bad in his first start, but he still didn't look great. And if he can get into the bullpen early, which Greinke doesn't go tremendously deep into the games, Cleveland's still in play for me here.
Yeah, I mean, Greinke looked decent against San Fran. I watched most of that game, and he didn't do quite a bad job. But I mean, I like some Cleveland bats here. I'm probably on Lindor and Santana more than anyone.
Yeah, I mean, Lindor's a guy red hot so far to start the season. I like Encarnacion. I feel like he might be one of the lower-owned bats right now.
Yeah, and he actually can, if you stack them, you might be able to differentiate yourself because people have been going Santana, and you can't have them both on FanDuel.
Yeah, I know. That's always kind of
the Hanley thing from last year.
Yeah, exactly. It's just moving over. So yeah, that's the one troubling thing. But I think Encarnacion will definitely come lower-owned than Santana.
And I might have a little interest in Brantley tomorrow.
I would too. I mean, I like his FanDuel price quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, certainly in play. I mean, on the Arizona side, Trevor Bauer, I mean, this dude is such a wild card, but I don't see him coming into the chase and having a strong outing.
Dude, I got 4 words for you. Jake Lamb bobblehead night.
Oh,
Sign
man.
me up. Let's go. Jake Lamb. All the shares of Jake Lamb tomorrow.
Doing the hard research. I like that.
Yes. Big Jake Lamb fan. And tomorrow, everywhere. Let's go. Yeah. I'm ready.
I mean, the front four all in play for me. Pollock, Peralta, Goldschmidt, Lamb. I don't mind a stack. I just like the upside from all 4 of them.
Yep, definitely.
So we move on to the Coors game here.
Ooh.
2 talented pitchers, Clayton Kershaw versus John Gray. Pricing, it doesn't matter if Clayton Kershaw's on the hill. The pricing for Rockies are still high. Prices for the Dodgers are still high. A good GPP fade, but I mean, I'm kind of curious to see how many people go on attack just because of these arms. Dodgers will have higher ownership, though.
Yes, Dodgers definitely have higher ownership, and I like John Gray, but, dude, I'm calling the Corey Seager dinger tomorrow.
I like it. I mean, upside's there for these guys. Expensive, but, I mean, I think they might come in slightly more contrarian because, I mean,
you got the Texas game and the Chase game too,
Yeah, so I think
with
they
better
might.
pitching matchups than Kershaw and Gray, you know?
Yeah, it might cut into the ownership, and I think obviously a lot of people are going to be looking at using guys like Bumgarner and Yu Darvish and Clayton Kershaw still. So it's not like the last few nights where you can still fit those guys in while you're paying up for you know a team's so on so ace for the slate.
Right.
So it's an interesting way to go. I mean, I definitely think you're looking at the Dodgers side. I mean, do you have any interest in attacking a Kershaw as a one-off?
I mean, yeah, I'd go if I win anybody, I'd probably go Arenado.
Yeah, I think he's a probably stronger option. I mean, Trevor Story might be a deep GPP play.
Trevor Story's pretty cheap, but dude, he's gonna strike out at least twice tomorrow against Kershaw.
That's the issue. Yeah, I mean, the bomb potential's there, but yes, this dude could wear the golden sombrero.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think people like I think Jock's too expensive. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
4K. I mean, Jock's good, but 4K. I mean, there's no. I mean, I'd rather. I can't even say it. I was gonna say I'd much rather play for Charlie Blackmon at 3.9, but not against Kershaw. I mean, I'm just not like I wouldn't pay for Puig. I mean, I just can't see me paying for a lot of these guys. You know.
yeah. I think with the pricing of the pitching tonight, I'm with you. I mean, I think for the most part, I'm kind of hating up at their games.
Yeah, I agree.
San Francisco, San Diego, Ulis Chassin, Madison Bumgarner. We'll start with the Giants side, of course, here. Chassin obviously rocked opening day. Moving into Petco, better ballpark for him to pitch in. Pretty neutral for lefty power. I like guys like Brandon Crawford.
Yes. Yes.
Very much in play for me. Eduardo Nunez is also in play, too.
Yeah, I really like Crawford. I mean, 2,800 on FanDuel is just too cheap for a guy that's going against Chassin. I mean, he's horrible. You know what I mean? And nobody ever seems to play this guy, but he'd be an interesting part of your stack. I think Joe Panic.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom half, I wouldn't be surprised to get that going. I mean, a couple of lefties going there. Yeah, I mean, kind of an intriguing back end stack there.
Yeah, I mean, Belt's been on fire. I mean, he had 2 more dingers tonight. I mean, you put Belt, Panic, and Crawford together, and you throw in one more as a one-off, maybe a Pence, Posey, or like you said, Nunez. And I mean, you got yourself. I mean, these guys are cheap. You can get a whole stack with one of those top pitchers. I mean, Belt's 29, Panic's 26, Crawford's 28. I mean, that's cheap.
Yeah, it really fits in perfectly for the slate tonight. I mean, the run total is not high. I'm kind of hoping people stay away from it. I don't know how much they will just because of his last outing, but yeah, I mean, it really fits in well if you're paying up for a pitcher.
Yeah, and I don't know how you feel about this stacking wise, but I just love picking teams that are on the road, so you're guaranteed those 9 innings.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely get the extra top 9, which always helps.
I mean, you only need 1 inning.
Yeah, that's true. And we've seen Chassin give up a lot in 1 inning.
Yes.
So, Padres side of things, no thank you for me.
No. I mean, I'd recommend one person as a one-off. It'd probably be Hunter Renfroe, but that's it.
Yeah. Seattle, Los Angeles, Ricky Nolasco, Felix Hernandez. Felix Hernandez, I mean, dealing with a bum leg. Talk of the town's always Mike Trout against Felix Hernandez's BVP truthers out there like him. Expensive. I'm curious to see what his ownership will be.
Yeah, I mean, last couple nights have been pretty high up there because there's no pitchers to pay for, so you might as well just throw in Trout and hope he goes yard or something. But tomorrow's really going to be interesting. I mean, you're going to pay for people like, Hendricks or maybe even go up to Bumgarner, so you're not going to have that extra salary to get Trout. So you might see him here at like 12, 13%.
Yeah, that's very true. And I mean, as far as other Angels, I don't have any real strong interest. I mean, Cole Calhoun, I mean, coming off a home run night, I'm not going to really chasing that one. I think there are better options to use than, basically Cron and Pujols at first base.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if I can fit Trout in, I'll put him in there because I am a BVP guy. But besides that, I don't really like anybody else.
On the Seattle side, struggle to kind of start the season for these guys. Eventually, they're going to come through. I love this offense. You and I were kind of talking about Seattle. My biggest thing with attacking them right now in this series is the ballpark. But I do like them as far as one-offs go against Nolasco.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick one, Cruz would be my guy.
Yeah, I mean, the Cruz obviously has the power to, in any stadium. I do like him quite a bit. And you do look in Nolasco, I mean, 1.55 home runs per 9 to right-handed bats last year.
Yeah, and I mean, Cruz and Cano, all those guys have been starting off kind of slow, but I'm a huge fan of this offense, and I really don't want to miss out on the night they go off. So I might throw just one stack out there tomorrow because I know what they're capable of, especially with Segura now. They got stolen base upside, home run upside, run. They got so much upside.
And you're going to get them all less than 10% owned.
Yeah, I mean, tonight, I mean,
Maybe
they were
even less than
7. They were
5.
7% owned tonight. So I mean, maybe even exactly, probably like 5 tomorrow.
Yeah. So I mean, you're going to get these guys at low ownership until they really hit that big game.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's going to wrap it up here. You can head on over to DaveFantasyCafe.com, check out our great tools and content.